So my name is Jill, and this is my husband, Joe. And your children may not know, but we have 3 children, and we have 6 grandchildren.
I have 6 grandchildren, and I'm crazy about them. I speak to them every single day. Not a joke. So guess what? They're crazy about me because I pay so much attention to them.
I wanted to ask about the trial going on in Arkansas with Hunter Biden and the child support. Are the president and first lady monitoring that? And how come they haven't acknowledged the 7th grandchild?
I'm not going to speak to that from here.
Maisie, is it true that he calls all the time?
Yeah, that's something that I feel like some people don't believe when we say that he literally calls, not just like one of us every few days. He calls me, then he calls Naomi, then he calls Finn, then he calls Natalie, then he calls Ashley, and then he calls little Hunter.
And then he does like the big group text.
Yeah, and then he has a group chat after like
called.
all of us may have rejected his call, like on a day where we're all busy,
really
and he
funny
texts
because-
us like, just tried calling you guys, missed it.
It's so weird because he like has like this weird thing where he can put stuff in bold letters.
Yeah, he says
the subject line.
He puts like subject.
He's
where are
like,
you?
good morning.
But then if you call him back, or at least if I do, he's like, it's like a world war has broken out. Like, what's wrong? Like,
Hey there, guys. So hell must have absolutely frozen over because Joe Biden has finally acknowledged his innocent little 4-year-old granddaughter that until this moment, until this last weekend, he would never even mention the name. 4-year-old Navy Joan Roberts. And what it took to finally make the man even mention the little girl is just about as bad as it gets. And true proof, if you ask me, of the kind of guy that our president really truly is. 4 long years, Navy has been basically the girl without a name. You know, despite being the daughter of Hunter Biden and the granddaughter of the President of the United States, there has been absolutely zero acknowledgement of her existence from her grandparents, Joe and Jill Biden. They even prioritize their dogs, their very, very violent and poorly trained dogs, over this little girl this last Christmas and all Christmases. You know, and so which I guess it actually is true about dogs and their owners. They're the same. But finally, after pretty serious backlash, which is what it finally took, you know, finally people in the mainstream media, New York Times and others, they just finally had enough and really were led to question the guy's character over it, I believe. So finally, because of this, the Bidens finally recognized her, but only just now. And it took an actual problem for this to happen, not doing the right thing. No, it took a political freaking problem, you know, when literally, you know, everybody on earth was questioning it. And finally, so there's a statement from the White House, and here's the official statement. Listen to this and think about what this actually implies. So our son Hunter and Navy's mother London are working together to foster a relationship. This is not a political issue. It's a family matter. A family matter? Come on. Give me a freaking break. You know, let's dig into exactly why I think this is not just a family matter, but this is an American matter and not some arbitrary matter. This is a real serious and glaring issue. So Hunter refused to admit that he was Navy's father until a DNA test was forced upon him. And even after that, he fought child support. Even while raking in millions and millions and millions of dollars from shady overseas foreign sources, he didn't want to pay child support. And of course, you know, he literally went to court to fight to keep this little girl from having his name, which she is a Biden, unfortunately for her. And my gut tells me this, you know, and this is only my belief, just so you know, but I have no proof of this, but I believe that a degenerate, selfish ghoul like Hunter Biden doesn't put up a fight like this unless he is absolutely told to, unless he is instructed to, you know. And while this is going on, Joe and Jill Biden, they literally actively shunned the little girl. They ignored her, they diminished her, they delegitimized her for years, you know, an act that honestly, you know, anyone else on the planet would find reprehensible. I can't think of anyone that I know, and I know some pretty unlikable people. I can't think of anyone that would actually do this. And here's the thing. No one cared. The media didn't care. Democrats didn't care. Most politicians, Republican, no one really cared. You know, if this was any other Democrat behaving like this, you know, it would be completely disqualifying. If it was anyone acting like this, it'd be disqualifying. It'd be a glaring character defect. But like everything a Joe Biden does, it's ignored. Why? Let me know in the comments why you guys think that is. That this guy who has been sold to us as Family Guy, Amtrak Joe, real man of the people. Why do we accept every dirtbag possible thing from this guy? I just don't understand. Anyway, so Jason Chaffetz, I'm going to show you some stuff on that, but he's absolutely correct. Biden's treatment, all it is cold-hearted, and he's right to ask, what was truly in Navy's best interest here? And what is in our best interest? If the man has such a faulty moral compass that he will not even use his power and prestige and millions of foreign dollars to enhance and enrich the life of his seventh blood grandchild, then how can we believe that he will act in the best interest of us and our families? Let me know in the comments if there is a way, but I don't think we can. And really, this is just one story. This is just so incredibly emblematic of what Washington is, man. Full of people that will disregard or destroy their own values if they think they can gain even a tiny, tiny little amount of personal advantage, political advantage. The Biden's handling of this situation, man, and the way that it was received and covered by his powerful friends in government and in the media tells you everything you need to know about Washington, D.C. and the people who are in it. Really, dude, I just can't believe it. Imagine being a 4-year-old, prevented from even calling yourself a Biden. And kids are smart, guys. A lot smarter than we are in most cases. This little girl, she's 4 years old. I'm sure she's smart as a whip and knows exactly what's going on. And I'm sure it hurts her because kids don't understand why people do mean things or why they're not accepted. It's wrong. Anyway, that little girl knows exactly what is going on, if you ask me. And even more, than she knows now. Imagine the impact that this kind of stuff is going to possibly have on her life as she grows up, So anyway, why now? Why the sudden recognition? This has nothing to do with family compassion. This is just pure politics, man. But you know what I want? Here's what I want. I want everyone that has been repeatedly questioning this to dig in, man. Dig in hard. If this guy wants to, on a whim, and when it's politically helpful to recognize this little girl, I think they need to really make him recognize this little girl. Get her to campaign events. If he ever actually remembers he's supposed to be campaigning, they need to get this little girl to the White House. And anyway, I guess actually that probably shouldn't happen. We can't be parading a child around for political vengeance. That's not right. But what does need to happen is they need to hold him accountable. We need to make sure that this little girl is set up for life. And we need to find out, why they fought so hard to keep this little girl, who is very, very much a Biden, unfortunately for her, from taking the name. What do you think of this story, guys? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what's on your mind. And please, if you haven't already, help us grow and get our message to the masses. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more common sense analysis. And guys, most importantly, share the Common Sense Garage. We'll see you in the next one.